doing DocuMentorMe. Despite us having to do it under COVID restrictions, I'm proud of everybody here. We made it through 12 weeks teaching you all from my bedroom, right? So while it couldn't have been exactly like last year, it is just as successful and the pieces look so good. So I am very proud of everybody. These filmmakers did such a good job and they're very thankful for all the support at home. And then we've had some support throughout the 12 weeks too. I'm going to pass it off to a couple folks here with us today to talk about what they did through these 12 weeks as well, starting off with Sarah.
Hi, my name's Sarah. I am a college student at De Anza, and I have been with CreateTV since April as an intern. I've been supporting DMM all 12 weeks. It's been super fun. We've gone through things like how to put together a storyboard, the different programs that we get to use to make that happen, and all the tools. It's been super duper inspiring and definitely my favorite part of what I'm doing at school. Thanks, James.
Thank you, Sarah. And now I'm going to pass it over to Chad Johnston, CEO of CreateTV.
Hello. Hey, thanks everyone for coming. I'm so glad you're here to support DocuMentorMe 2020. I cannot believe this is our second year and I can't believe we pulled it off thanks to everyone that made it possible. So I'm the CEO of CreateTV San Jose. I just want to tell you who we are. We're San Jose's nonprofit community media center and public access TV station. So we teach anyone and everyone in the community how to make their own media and tell their own stories. We produce media for nonprofits and community groups and local government, and then we distribute content via our channels and online, like what you're seeing right now. So we started this program because we really believe how important it is to have diversity in the media industry, how important it is to have equitable access to technology and the ability to tell stories, and particularly these days to shape narratives, how crucial that is to having a just society. So I'm really proud of the work that all the participants have done here, including the educators, the people behind the scenes, the first-time documentary filmmakers. You don't know how hard they have worked over the last 12 weeks. I want to say this program would not be possible without the support of the Applied Materials Foundation, who helped launch this program, and also Heritage Bank of Commerce. So please, out there, give them a virtual hand for making programs like this happen. So I'll pass it back to James, and thank you so much for tuning in, y'all.
Thank you very much, Chad. This next person I work very closely with. Also couldn't have done this program without him. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Fernando.
Thanks, James. I'm Fernando, the Community Media Manager at CreateTV. It's a very exciting moment right now as we're doing this like screening live on YouTube, on Facebook. We're still coming to you on 4 different channels on CreateTV. This is the moment we've been preparing for. And I'm just really excited. More about CreateTV, just from what I'm doing. We offer a lot of classes, activities throughout the year. I'm really hoping 2021 is another year we can keep creating media like this, like what we're going to watch today. So just hope everyone is ready with some questions and, excited to watch the screenings. I know I am.
Thank you so much, Fernando. And another person I want to make sure gets to introduce themselves, a great mentor we've had throughout the program, Rick.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, James. I'm Rick Bacigalupi. I'm a CreateTV producer on call and an independent producer in the community. And it was really fun to come back for the second year of DocuMentorMe. I got to share one of my projects that had relevance and then hang out with James and Sarah and the fantastic new filmmakers. And I can't wait to see the final pieces. It's been a blast to join you guys.
Thank you so much. And now I just want to give a little context. What is DocuMentorMe? This thing you keep hearing. I've mentioned it's a 12-week long program. We've made it to the end. We're at our final screening, and everyone worked insanely hard throughout these last 12 weeks, despite all of the difficulties out in the world and trying to figure out how we're going to produce this work from home and teach each other stuff through a screen, you know? But DocuMentorMe is a 12-week long intensive documentary making program, and it's geared really specifically towards the LGBTQ plus community. So a lot of what you're gonna see tonight stretches across various different topics, all very close issues to the people who produced them. You're gonna see a lot of cool videos tonight. So another note I wanna make sure I mention is that the documentaries are playing on YouTube and Facebook and our channel right now till about 6:45, 6:50. And then if you want, check out the description. And if you haven't registered yet, you can still register for our Q&A, which is going to be back here on Zoom. You'll be able to jump into a waiting room that I'll let you into. Just make sure you register sometime before we start our Q&A, and then you can join and participate with us. And when next week rolls around, I'm going to do a drawing, and one lucky person is going to win a free CreateTV membership as a thank you for participating in the Q&A. So we hope to see a lot of people back in that part when we get around to that. And now I'm going to introduce the first person who's going to be sharing their documentary, and that is Anil.
It's like a thing that I always go first, isn't it, James? Hi, everybody. My name is Anil Madero. I just love to start by giving thanks to my friends and family. My family has been super supportive in me on Mondays to not really bothering me much while I like edit and produce. So I'm super thankful to them. Super thankful to my friends who have like just been there for me this whole time, been really available to help me out with this, especially my friend Natalie, who's helped me out with a really important part of my documentary, which you will all see. And then a huge shout out, like the major shout out to my friend and former teacher, Iliana Perez. If you're watching this, thank you for sending me over the information for CreateTV. You've always been in my court. I constantly go back to the little blurb you left me in my yearbook whenever I need some inspiration. You are one of the people that I look up to the most, and I really care for, and I love you. I love your family. So very thankful for that. And I'm really grateful for this experience. I think that's it. That's all I really had to say. Oh, I need to talk about my documentary. Sorry, James. Or am I good?
Oh, go for it.
Okay, quick. Just real quick. My documentary is just an exploration of space and the city and how it's manifested in me. And I hope you all enjoy.
CYBERDUCK Studios presents.
My name is Anil. I'm the youngest of 3 boys, all born and raised in San Jose. My parents immigrated from Mexico in the 80s and lived in different areas of the Bay before settling down in San Jose. They divorced when I was 2. I'm currently living with my mom and stepdad in my childhood home, and as of today, I'm working my dream job in a city council office. I enjoy reading political theory, playing competitive Pokemon, and making mixed drinks with gin. My parents are gardeners, so plants have always been a part of my life. On any given day, I want to go thrifting. My favorite dish is milanesas de pollo con sopita de fideo. And much like my dog Chispita, I too am a sleepy pillow princess with a mild skin condition. I've always felt a connection with San Jose, partly because it was founded in 1777, and I was born on July 7th, 1997, and for some reason I think that means something. My last year at university presented an interesting concept, that of landscape versus vernacular. There's this idea that power in modern times is abstractly found in the city's skyline and network of capital. In contrast to that exists vernacular, a more intimate language of experiences shared by folks of low-lying residencies. On its face, it's quite obvious that power lies in landscape, but I was always more interested in what animates the landscape. That's why I really like making collages. I like creating spaces that can manifest feelings, recall emotions, spaces that at any given moment can invite you in so you can animate them. And that animation is an interpretation of what the city has been saying to me. Things like Valley Fair as an ambitious pink-washed power bottom, Bank of Italy as a seriously stoic man who cruises in bathrooms, City Hall as that lipstick lesbian who keeps up with fashion trends, the neon signs of San Carlos Street reminding me that 80s fashion and fonts are forever, things like knowing that East Side folks don't drive dangerously, they just know where they're going. It's all part of the city's vernacular that I've picked up on. One of my favorite landscapes is San Jose's waterways. My brother took me to the Guadalupe River once on a bike ride when I was young, and ever since I was obsessed. I tried to go as many times as I could to make potions and just kind of sit near the water and hang out. I remember fully realizing that I was gay when I would hang out there. The creek carried a language of tranquility, artistry, and solitude that I wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. There was once a really bad summer in 2015 when the drought had hit its peak and the creek was dried up. I took that opportunity to walk it. I made it pretty close to East Palo Alto before I hit water and was forced to go back. One of my least favorite landscapes is Monterey Road. It goes on forever, almost like a painful homage to the bus ride my stepdad had to take when he was deported. He was held in a detention center right near the big inflatable gorilla. And it's not that the gorilla scares me. It's more that the gorilla reminds me of going to see my stepdad being held in custody. We'd have to go back there a lot, so now I don't really care for Monterey Road. Having gotten the insight of landscape and vernacular pushed me to try drag. I wanted to create a character who could contest my experiences as Angel and re-experience the landscape in an attempt to produce a different vernacular. I also wanted to look really snatched. Beyond being a study of gender and art, being in drag served as a lens. Suddenly, every sidewalk becomes a runway. In the glass buildings, you see a girl looking back at you, and just like that, you begin to experience the vanity of the space. And then there was a challenge. Whether or not a space was gay, I was determined to make it gay. Because I'm gay, and it's fun.
Great job, Anil. I hope everyone watching loved his piece. Next up, let me introduce Gabrielle.
Hello, everyone. This has been an exciting journey. I'm a first-generation Yugoslavian. My parents were recruited to Australia in 1949, and I was born 5 months later. So English is my second language. And my parents really wanted me to be fabulous, and I turned out gay. And my documentary is about coming out publicly gay, which is different from just coming out. My parents really couldn't stand the fact that I was on national television, and yet I know that even if I didn't do that, they would never really accept me. So I did what Gabrielle does. Well, if you're not going to accept me being quiet, I might as well be noisy about it. And the first picture you will see is myself as a LGBTQ activist with gay liberation in 1970, and I was 20 years old. And The whole documentary is me talking to my younger self, because really, young activists are the ones that bring the new perspective. And I have honored young activists throughout my career and my activism, but the one young activist I have never really honored is my younger self, Gabrielle. And this documentary is to her, because I wanted to balance it out. And it really changed me on the inside doing this documentary, because honestly, I felt humiliated by my peers because I was the young one, you know, but none of them remember that. It was only me that remembered it. And doing this documentary helped me let it go. And I feel freer in myself as Gabrielle in 2020, because I talked to Gabrielle in 1970 and a bit later. So that's my piece. And I am now proud of my younger self.
I was muted. Thanks, Gabrielle.
Who fight for justice are my siblings. I'm Gabrielle of 2020, and this is Gabrielle of the 1970s. I remember at the time you were talking about coming out publicly gay or lesbian or dyke. So you'd been talking about coming out as a way of being more yourself, and how it was a political act and how important it was to do that. And what you didn't know, because you were so young and there was no real research, because people hadn't really come out on national television that much, that coming from an immigrant family, you know, it's very different being a first-generation immigrant. They really want you to become a doctor, a lawyer, or something that's important in the dominant culture. That coming out as a lesbian is devastating to the family, and the rejection that comes with that was so awful for you. You know, rejection from the family is unusual for minorities, except for the LGBTQ plus community. And I learned something new recently, that there's a word for it now. It's called losing permanency. And what does that mean? Remember how you felt when your family wanted you to change your last name so that they would not be associated with you? Well, what losing permanency means is, it's a word for that feeling you had that the bottom of your whole life just fell away and that you had nowhere to be. And you know how you never felt like you fit in as a female, either in the regular community, because remember when Mum, when you were a teenager, wanted you to wear makeup and you said no, and she said, what are you, a tomboy? And you went, no. Then what are you? And you could never figure it out. But your gender expression has always been what we now call genderqueer. There's real words for how you were back then, and the way you handled it was so amazing. I'm amazed myself that a young person like that ended up saying, I don't belong anywhere, but I'm determined to be comfortable everywhere. And you know that I still use that phrase today. And not only are the LGBTQs and pluses our family, but so are all the minorities in the world. everybody, including Black Lives Matter movement, including the entire Black Lives Matter movement. And I am so amazed that you are all here, because what it means is our LGBTQ plus community is becoming better about being intersectional, that we all are the same purpose. And that's what we have had to learn in the LGBTQ plus community, that we are each other's siblings and you are our siblings.
Black lives are under attack. What do we do? When black lives are under attack, what do we do? When black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When black lives are under attack, stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back.
The world should love everybody.
Thanks, Gabrielle. That was great. Next up, we have the fabulous America. Take it away.
Thank you. Hi, everybody, for being here. This is so exciting, taking the time to watch our virtual event. First of all, my name is America. I am a Latinx woman here in San Jose, born and raised. And this has been such an incredible opportunity to be able to work with my friends who are part of Teatro Alebrijes. Last year, I joined Teatro Alebrijes when I was in a bit of a funk, and they completely turned my world in a better way. I've been able to interview them and learn about their stories. And this is what I'd like for you all to watch: a group of fabulous individuals with many experiences, identities, traditions that you can see at your local grocery store, just people around in our community. So now I will be saying that in Spanish. Hola a todos, gracias por asistir a este evento virtual. Gracias por tomar el tiempo de ver nuestras historias, lo que nos gusta hacer, que es crear documentales de nuestras experiencias. Y para el mío, yo pude entrevistar a mis amigos de Teatro Alebrijes, una colección de latinos, latinas, que tenemos varias cosas que aprender de nosotros, porque tenemos muchas experiencias, tenemos buenas memorias de nuestros lugares que hemos visitado, y me da mucho orgullo poder haberlos entrevistado. Gracias a mi familia que están aquí, y espero que les guste. Este va a ser Creando Comunidad con Teatro Alebrijes. So thank you for being here. Thank you for my family and friends for being here. This is going to be Creando Comunidad con Teatro Alebrijes. Hope you enjoy.
A ver, tengo que decir quién soy yo. Ok.
Javi is
muchas cosas. Yo soy muchas cosas.
When I hear the word community, I think of gatherings.
I think of my friends.
La comunidad es la familia que nosotros elegimos.
Be part of that community, taking care of that community, my space, my environment, my people, right? By being understanding, by being thankful for them.
La comunidad, estar en comunión todos es muy, muy, muy importante. ¿Qué significa ser un alebrije? Esta idea de un ser mágico, de un ser que es un conjunto de varios animales con diferentes propiedades. Yo creo que eso representa lo que somos, una gran diversidad de personalidades, de identidades, de formas de expresarnos. Tenemos la intención de que nuestro trabajo haga eco en los corazones de varias personas que buscan la sanación.
Las maneras que yo me expreso creativamente, por medio de lidiar con el dolor, escucharlo, sentirlo y de repente pongo las manitas a hacer algo, o la creatividad o el sentimiento.
Yo pienso que cada cosa que hago tiene algo artístico, me gusta crear. Siempre desde que me acuerdo, desde pequeño, me gusta andar haciendo dibujitos bonitos en servilletas, en lo que pueda yo rayar, ahí estoy creando.
You know, because I wanted to be the actor who can play many characters, not only the ones that people will say like, you're an actor, Latin actor, and you're short, you should just be playing this. You know, I wanted to explore more and be a better version of myself.
Tengo un libro donde la primera junta que hicimos de Alebrijes, como grupo Alebrijes, todavía no teníamos nombre y firmamos el libro, ¿no? Con todas las asistencias de los que llegaron, con los primeros miembros, los primeritos miembros del grupo.
How does it feel to be an alebrije? In my own words, it feels very empowering. It brings joy to others. It brings laughter to others throughout plays.
It feels unique, honestly.
There's a sense of like freedom, I would say, but also joy. Also a sense of like fullness.
To be in Alebrijes, it feels like I'm part of something. I'm part of a group that understands me because we all share the same itch for acting. So that's the glue that put us all together. But also we have developed friendships and we get to know each other to a deeper level.
I'm honored to say that I am a part of a movement, a part of a group that is shaping the community, a part of a group that is educating and that is bringing smiles and laughter and education, awareness.
Somos una familia una familia muy hermosa.
Adrián es libre.
Sergio seeks knowledge.
Oliver is metamorphosis.
José es responsable.
Fern loves someone.
A Caro le gusta amar.
Rodrigo es alguien muy compasivo.
Alexia es una mujer con sueños.
Soy Hugo y me gusta descubrir.
Daniel is sentimental.
I think that Teatro Alebrijes has the magic to unite.
Let's get a virtual round of applause for America's documentary. Great job. Un aplauso virtual para el documental de América. I just want to remind everybody that if you're watching live here, there is a registration link under the description on the YouTube page. There's a link also on the Facebook Live page. If you're tuning in, we'd love for you to join us after the documentary screening on Zoom. We'll be opening the space for a Q&A, and you'll be able to have a chat with these fantastic documentarians. So stick around. Next up, I'd love to introduce Hank Dean.
Hi, folks. How are you? My name is Hank Dean. Nice to meet you. It's been a long time for this documentary, and it's been absolutely amazing. The process has been outstanding. It's about a story about a young kid that grew up in a different situation, being told that the answer was always going to be no, wanting to be a ballet dancer, a gymnast, or a teacher. Little behold, turning out that this was going to be his life. I have been teaching now for the past 45 years. I was a professional dancer. I was a national gymnast. I traveled all over the world, and I did what I wanted to do, and it was been absolutely amazing. First of all, I'd like to tell you that somebody asked me a question a while ago is, when did you come out? I don't think I've ever came out. I've always been out. So it's never been an issue for me, and I want you guys to enjoy my story. Thank you, Create TV.
Discovering your passion or calling is much more than a career title or making a certain amount of money. It's about discovering your authentic self, peeling back the layers of who you think you should be, and going deep inside and finding your unique purpose. To find what excites you and what sets you apart from any other person. At the young age, I reached a point of my life where I knew I had to shift. I had to change my standards, and my life would change drastically. I grew up living with the identity that was given to me, an identity that was not chosen. I wrestled with the identity of who I expected to be. I was lonely. I was confused. I spent a lot of time alone, trying to process my feelings. One day, at the age of 7, I decided, we live who we believe we are. And as Martha Graham says, you are unique. And if you're not fulfilled, then something has been lost. It took some time for me to find myself because of odd reasons. I was willing to admit wrong in who I was, but I didn't know why. I didn't know what the often blame was heading towards me. And I disapproved of this. As a child, we don't know what's right and what's wrong. We make our family and our friends happy. We want to make them approve of us, to love us, even at the cost of ourselves. Growth is a result of bad habits. I was surrounded by bad habits at the young age, and I had no choice but to grow up quickly. Sometimes I wish I could go back. What I know now and accept who I was sooner. Maybe I would have smiled more. Maybe I would have found myself earlier. As I look back on my career as a national aerobic champion, thanking my mother for letting me do the blessings that has been given to me. My family, I absolutely love and miss you dearly. Becoming an Albanelli dancer in New York, amazing blessing moments, and becoming a gymnast at Long Branch High School. My sister Diane, I miss you dearly. My brother Alan, I miss you dearly. Sean and my mother Mary and my Aunt Iretta, I'm at loss for words. And then there's me, the person that they said would never become a dancer, would never become a gymnast, because we're not supposed to do these things. It's unheard of. Men don't do that. Girls do those things. Well, here I am, shining bright like a diamond and as proud as I can be, as an Afro-American male. Love you all. Stay positive, stay healthy, stay strong. It's up to you, absolutely no one else. Shine bright like a diamond. And then I found my soulmate. We are a day apart. I am March 8th and he is March 9th. And we are yin and yang. Absolutely amazing. I love this man with all of my heart. And he always tells me that I am resilient. Shine bright like a diamond. Be who you are. Stick to your career. Stick to whatever's given to you. Be your own boss. You don't need anyone to tell you what to do. Coming from where I've come from, I am extremely, extremely grateful and happy and blessed to be resilient. Hank Dean, married name Hank Glasser. Model, dancer, personal trainer, gymnastics coach, husband, and once again, I love you all.
Thanks, Hank. That was great. Our final documentary of the night is brought to you by Melia.
Hi, my name is Melia. I'm a Chinese, Japanese-American mixed media artist and early career filmmaker from San Jose, California. In college, I minored in journalism, particularly broadcast news. So I came into DocuMentorMe with basic camera and editing skills, but I really wanted to level up my confidence with being a filmmaker, especially in an industry where many people do not look like me. I also came into DocuMentorMe wanting my film to feature independent music artists. I had this general question of how has the internet impacted LGBTQ representation in music, which I later realized is a lot to unpack in a 5-minute video. But I was incredibly fortunate to be able to work with Meishi Smile, the band that you're about to see. They invited me to come out to their latest music video shoot where I got to film a lot of these behind the scenes footage for my doc. And so I'm incredibly grateful. It's been a surreal and empowering 12 weeks in DMM. So thank you so much for coming. And I'm excited to share my film with you all. Thank you.
I want the music to be able to convey that it's okay to feel what you feel and it's okay to have those experiences. And I want people to be able to just find out who they are and be more themselves outside of a system that dictates they should be a certain way. My name is Faye, and I recorded on the project Meishi Smile, and I'm the founder of Zoom Lens. It's a emotive electronic music label based in LA. I'm Japanese, Chinese, American, and I am 5th and 6th generation, respectively. I don't really identify with any specific gender, so by all means, society would probably deem me to be more so gender fluid. The latest video we filmed was for an upcoming single called The Dialogue Dazai. The lyrics detail about the last 3 months of protests and the notion that we can have these ideals in our lives, but are we going to actually hold ourselves accountable to these ideals? Are they just ideas in our head, or are we going to actually put these ideals into action? So to die like Dazai, that phrase is me not wanting to die myself as a deplorable person and for others to look at their own shortcomings as well. So the video, it reflects some of those things, but mostly it reflects a transformation of gender identity and not wanting to die in a way where I wasn't able to be truly myself. Most recently, talking to a lot of my peers and a lot of fellow artists, I feel we all have this sort of sense of where is music going now. There's an existential question of who I am as an artist, or who we are as artists, and how do we affect people and reach people in a time where we're told by Spotify CEOs that we have to keep pumping out music because it will give them more money. And stepping back and being like, well, am I pumping out more music because somebody else told me to? I'm pumping out more music because of the expression of myself, and it's connecting to people, and people need that right now. For other people to have a sense of authenticity is very important in a time where we're very forced to be these content creators, so to speak, and keep on pushing and oversaturating all this media that's constantly being in people's faces. I feel like music should be very much a political force and a physical force. To show one's body on stage is something that is playing a role in terms of how you want to be seen and how you want to convey yourself and how you want to inspire people. To be someone who is Asian American and to convey that sense of stage presence, where I feel like I haven't really been able to witness that many Asian Americans, at least growing up, being more performative on stage, physically or being aggressive, is something that I want other people to be able to see and hopefully be able to come back from that show and instill it into their own life in various ways to be more confident. And people coming to these shows, I would often hear them say like, oh, I was very like antisocial before, and after that I met people with like a lot of similar interests and I felt at home, and then I'd see these people come again and like make more new friends. So it's always something to me that felt very humbling and honoring to be part of that experience, and I think it even reflected my own sense of trying to become more present and more sort of mindful of what was in front of me. The impact that I want to see at the end of the day with my music and my label is that it just simply reminds people who they are, that it reminds them of their child within, who they were before trauma, before being more enveloped in the system, to remind themselves of the joy of music and the transformative experience of that, being able to hear that and to see that, and being able to be like, this is who I am, to have your full potential, for everyone to realize their full potential together.
Awesome. Great job, Leah. Another virtual round of applause. And we did it, everybody. That was the DocuMentorMe screening. Those were the 5 pieces. I hope you really enjoyed all of them. Just a reminder that we are about to start a Q&A back over on Zoom. And if you check out the descriptions on YouTube and Facebook, you can still register and jump over into our waiting room here. I'll start letting people in a minute. Just a note about everything tonight. We are recording, so if you did miss any of the documentaries, we're going to post them as a separate link on YouTube and Facebook as well, so you can still check those out. And then for our Q&A, since this part's part of the recording as well, just a note to everyone watching at home, and if you are about to join the Q&A, if you want to join and not use your webcam, that's totally fine. But we want to make sure this part gets recorded too and gets posted later as well. So I am going to officially start letting people into the room here with us. And we're going to switch over, make sure we can all see each other. All right, everyone is starting to join. Give it a second. And we're going to give everyone a minute to jump over from Facebook, jump out of YouTube, and come join us for the Q&A. So this part will just wait a second, let people connect to audio. Cool. I'm going to give it just a couple seconds here. But welcome to your people starting to join us here on Zoom. We're glad you're here. Awesome. I see a couple familiar faces, one of which was in America's documentary. Hello. And Hugo was also in that documentary too. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Congratulations.
How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm so...
I see. Yeah, go ahead. What was
so
that?
Excited to see all the beautiful work from everyone. So congratulations again.
Mm-hmm. Yes, look at this filling up. You guys have such a great audience for Q&A. This is amazing.
Hi, Hugo.
Yay, look at this. Awesome. All right, we're going to keep allowing people to roll into the waiting room. If you're still on YouTube or Facebook and just want to watch the Q&A, that's cool too. But if you wanted to participate, we are all kind of starting in Zoom here. The spots are filling up, so jump on in whenever you want. You can still register and join us a little later too. All right, so to kick off our Q&A, I'm going to pose a question out to all of the participants here, and then we're going to open it up and see what questions we got here in the audience with us. So first question I got for all of you, and of course, just go ahead and say your name, filmmakers, mention which piece you worked on. But to kick us off, what has been your favorite part of the documentary process, or maybe what's a thing that surprised you the most about this process? Anyone feel like they want to go first, or I'll pick? All right, America, I saw your hand. Go ahead.
Hey, everyone. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. Yes, my name is America, and my piece was titled Creando Comunidad with Teatro Alebrijes, con Teatro Alebrijes, mixed up Spanglish. But oh, what a beautiful time I've had with all of my friends being able to create this project in collaboration. I think one of the most surprising things is just how much I was able to get a narrative, right? Piecing people's stories together, and everybody said something beautiful. I wish y'all could see the whole interviews because they were awesome in of themselves. But once I started hearing pieces and segments and going, oh, okay, this flows into this one, this flows into this one, that was beautiful. And working with the cameras was also, I loved making them look awesome. They are all very beautiful people, but just to highlight them and like get the crystal clear image was so much fun. And I've had a good time. Thank you.
Thanks, America. Awesome. I saw a couple hands go up too. Angel, were you ready to answer as well?
Oh, I can answer, totally.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, one of the most surprising parts for me, I guess, was that this was like a medium that I was enjoying. Like I found myself enjoying it halfway through because I'm so familiar with other mediums of like creative outlets and stuff like that. Like I make collages, for instance. I should introduce myself. My name is Anil Madero. I was the first documentary, Lengua Vernacular. So in the documentary, you got a feel for my art medium is like collaging. I like digital art as well. But it was really surprising that I ended up liking video making and all of that. Super fun. It's a really great, another way to tell a narrative. And it was very interesting to kind of internalize and take in that perspective. And it's now something that I can like, you know, I'm walking down the street and now I'm like, oh, that's a cool shot. Or like I'm watching a movie, I'm like, oh, that's a great shot. So that's super fun in that sense.
Thank you, Angel. Awesome. Melia, maybe your hand went up too. You feel ready to answer too? Awesome. Go for it. Go ahead, Melia. I think you're unmuted now. You should be good.
Okay. So I'm Melia. My piece was a physical force, the last documentary. Let's see. My favorite part of the process would definitely be the learning community that I got with DocuMentorMe. This is something that I've really wanted, especially when it comes to filmmaking. I think I've been so stuck in like the academic mindset of doing this when I was in college, where, you know, I've been told like, you know, the industry doesn't care about your feelings, or like, you know, that doesn't matter. What matters is like the deadline. And so like being in this very supportive, like, not just like supportive with like the technical stuff, but like emotionally supportive group, that was something that I've been looking for a while. And on top of that, favorite parts, definitely working with Meishi Smile and crew, being on set. All the moments where I just thought like, this is happening, especially in the post-production part when I was editing, rushing, like, when is it going to actually look like a film? But, you know, once you get further down in that process, you have moments where you're replaying what you're making. You're just like, oh, like this is happening and I did that. So, yeah, and things that surprised me was definitely just how deep my critical, or just like how loud, or yeah, like how deep my like critical voice, these competence issues that I had, relating a lot to what Gabrielle mentioned in her documentary. Like I realized like I'm the only, it's all coming from me, like in me, and the journey is just getting started. And yeah, just really honoring all of that hard work that we all went through these past 12 weeks.
You rock, Melia. Great job. Awesome. We got a couple other filmmakers here. We're going to introduce themselves, mention that piece they worked on, and same question to Hank, Gabrielle. Either one of you want to go next?
I'll go.
Yeah,
Hi,
Hank.
everyone. How are you? Hi, guys. This has been an amazing blast coming from a dinosaur. I still take a pencil and pad with me to a meeting and people just laugh at me with all their computers and iPad. So picking up a camera and doing this whole process all the way through with all this amazing help from DocuMentorMe has been absolutely amazing. I am a full-time personal trainer. I have my own business and that's what I do. I also have a show with and I look forward to being behind the camera for a long, long time coming. Thank you, DocuMentorMe. I hope my story was great for everyone. I had a great time. I don't even know what to say. This is going to be a great added addition to the rest of my life as filmmaking. Just hopefully helping some other kid that was in my situation growing up, or hopefully telling someone else's story that they can be free and do what they'd like to do. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Hank. Awesome, awesome. All right, Gabrielle, let me pass it over to you.
What surprised me is that the documentary actually wrote itself. What I did was I knew I wanted to talk to my younger self, so I just set up the camera. And because I knew I was sideways to the microphone, I had to talk louder and breathe deeper and really be out there with her. And I did 2 takes with no script, and I was so surprised at what came out of that. I had no idea that what was hiding inside of me that needed to come out. Wow. I mean, to think that it came out on camera, it was really bizarre. And then The other surprise was I had no idea that in Sydney, Australia, Sydney.
Oh no, the trials of being on Zoom. I'm going to give it a second, see if Gabrielle comes back.
Oh.
We lost you for a second. Oh, you're back. Okay, go ahead. You were mentioning Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, Sydney University just released a history project about coming out in the 1970s. And the first photo that I used is the cover photo of the history project. And I had never seen that photo before. So I took it from the history project and started my documentary that way. So it's amazing.
Wonderful, Gabrielle. Thank you also for the introduction and answering the first question of Q&A. So now, filmmakers, you feeling all warmed up and ready for some audience questions? Got used to talking? Yeah. All right. So there's a couple ways we can do this. If you are participating with your video on, of course, just raising your hand physically in your room, wherever you are, I can call on you that way. You can use the chat feature of Zoom. There is also a raise hand feature. If you look at where the participants are, there's a button that says more, or sorry, actually not more, sorry. If you go to your name in the participants and click more there, you're able to raise your hand. So I can see where there's a question a few different ways, and we'll get through a bunch tonight. So anybody want to go first in our audience here? All right, I see Ty.
Hello, thank you so much, James. My name is Ty. I use she, her, hers. This is a question to my friend America over there. I have only seen a fraction of the beauty in San Jose. My question to you is, where did you get the inspiration to just pick a place to start with this amazing project to make me feel so in awe of it?
Hello, Ty. Thank you for being here. Good to see you, my friend. Where I got the inspiration from? Well, at the very beginning, like I said, I was going through a funk when I first met Teatro Lebrijes and the folks there. And that funk didn't last a good while, because everyone there is just so full of spirit and creativity and joy. And there was so much laughter. And so all of that filled me up, and that fills up, I believe, everyone there too. And so then Rodrigo, the director of Teatro Lebrijes, let us know of this opportunity. So I really thank him for him sending that my way. And I said, let me give this a try. Let me try and see. And if I'm fortunate enough, I can be that bridge to build everyone's stories together. And so I got the opportunity, and then I asked everyone, oh, did you want to participate? Yes, yes, yes. Everyone said yes. I was like, okay, so this is a big responsibility. I'm up for the challenge. And thankfully, I guess that's where it all started. Just everyone bringing their stories, bringing their creativity. I was learning through the process. They were helping me along the way. So I do believe it was a collaborative effort. And thank you for the question, Ty.
Thank you, Ty. Yeah, first audience question. Perfect. I saw another hand under you. It was Olga. I think I saw your hand go up a second there. Take it away.
I was wondering if you had anywhere hard time, and if it's where and how you handle the situation.
Good question. Anyone specifically you want to ask, or is that more for the
whoever wants to jump in?
Yeah. It looks like Hank has a hand up. Go ahead. How would you like to answer?
Well, the process of learning this whole situation was absolutely scary. We started out with the iPad, and that was challenging. And then they gave us the camera, and I thought my head was going to fall off because I'm not used to all those buttons and wells and whistles. But the supportive team with Sarah, Fernando, and James has been absolutely amazing learning this process. And they were on call 24/7, and they answered the phone, which was absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Hank. Anybody else want to take a stab at that question from Olga? Biggest challenge, how you overcame it? Maybe one more, two more? On ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Olga. I think the hardest part for me was I'm like such a perfectionist. So this idea of having to turn in a final product that was up to my own standards, because I mean, you're your own harshest critic, was really difficult, especially this being my first time creating a documentary and even working with a camera and trying to get footage in that sense. But I'm reminded of Melia's like affirmations that Melia gave us, like, I think like 2 weeks before or a week before we were finished, that like just really helped me through it. Just like, this is our first time doing this. Anything that comes out of this, we should be proud of because we tried something new. So carrying those affirmations through was very helpful to getting me through this process. And quite honestly, I'm so proud of the work I've done. I actually think it's really good.
Yes, I'm so proud of all of you. This has been such a good journey. I saw a hand raised, so another question here from Elizabeth. Go ahead. And just go ahead and unmute Elizabeth first.
I think I would know it's December by now, and yet I was. Anyway, this question is for Anil, my friend. I know you did collaging has been like your thing for a while. How would you compare that to like this new medium where you're kind of taking like broken pieces, not broken, but like chunks of things and building something new? Like, did that help you, or were you kind of overwhelmed because it's kind of a different medium?
Hi, Liz. Thanks for being here. Love you. No, honestly, that's a really great way to think of it. It was definitely like a collection of broken pieces. But I think the good part here is, at least with collages, I kind of struggle because I thrift the books I take from. So I don't really have free reign over what I want. But this time it was like I can make a collage with the exact pieces I needed and wanted. So in that sense, it was a lot easier. And then like Adobe has like transitions and there's like music, and it just like becomes a whole kind of like artistry behind it. Yeah, I did definitely conceptualize it as a collage, so that helped me out throughout a lot. Thanks, Liz.
Awesome. I'm gonna keep looking around for some more physical hand raises here. Is it Tazeta?
Yes, close to the top.
To the top.
Yes, thank you, James. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, America, for the invite. And this was amazing. I probably cried multiple times throughout each of your documentaries. It was amazing. And my question would have to be, I guess, what is one footage that you wish you could have included in your documentary, but you couldn't? Similar to I also have a problem with perfectionism. So I was just wondering, how do you grapple with wanting to encapsulate everything, but not being able to include everything?
Great question. Yeah. Anyone specifically of our participants here want to take a stab at that? Gabrielle and Melia, we'll have you guys answer this one, okay? Gabrielle, go ahead.
Well, all filmmakers have to have footage that falls. That's what we were told.
Hold on, Gabrielle, I think you cut out. It could be just me. Maybe it's just you. I'm not sure. Can you try again?
What's that? Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Yep.
Oh, okay. I felt that I could do another documentary with the footage that I have. And so I think they were sneaky at Create TV, only letting us do 5 minutes, so that we would want to do another one and another one and another one. Because I think if we did a half-hour documentary, it would have been done. I don't know.
Thank you for answering, Gabrielle. And what about you, Melia?
Yeah, so I saw this video that said that you only use about 5% or less of all the footage that you get. And so when I saw that quote, I was like, okay, I should spend less time overthinking all my shots and just pay attention to like my favorite, like best shots. That helped narrow things down. But yeah, it is a challenge to fit everything in a 5-minute video, especially when like when I did my interview, our interview ended up being like an hour long, and we covered like a lot of great topics and themes, and it was a huge challenge to figure out how to fit everything in 5 minutes. especially like considering different audiences, like where are they coming from? So yeah, that was definitely a huge challenge, but I think overall, like what I reminded myself was that, you know, there could be many, many versions of this film. Like this is just one cut. And also given the situation with COVID, like, because I went in editing thinking like, oh my gosh, I wish there was like so much more that I got. Like, I wish I had more scenes. But like given the situation with COVID, like it's okay. Like we need to be more easy on ourselves. And so, yeah, just reminding myself that, yeah, this is just the beginning. I could always use the other footage that I have for other videos, or use that as inspiration for future interviews or like future films that I can make.
Awesome responses. Thank you for your question, Tezata. Olga, you got another question?
Yes, I was wondering if after the videos your life have been changed and how.
Hank, yeah, go ahead.
With my video, there's been a series of deaths in my family. I don't handle it very well. I'm not a big fan of funerals and going to funerals, so this gave me an outlet to tell my story, and it made me feel 1,000 times better. It was something that gave me a release. My brother, my mom, my little brother, and my sister, and I finally talked about it, and it's been hidden for years, and I feel lifted. And that's usually what I try to invoke for people, positive energy, but it was hard for me to do it for myself, which is great.
Hank, love it. You exude that positive energy. Thank you for always being that light.
Thank you.
All right. What other audience Q&A questions we got? Anyone hasn't asked one yet who still wants to? It can be, you can raise your hand if you have a question. You can put it in the chat. And we definitely have some other questions on backup in case you don't.
I have one more question. If
Yeah, go for it, Olga. Yeah.
Sarah, how did she color her hair? This is so beautiful. Oh my God. I want that hair colors all over now.
Thanks. I do it myself. It's been like this for a long time, and everyone keeps telling me I need to make a video tutorial. So I guess that's in my near future.
Can you do it with dreads?
I can. It takes a lot longer. The last time I did dreads, it took 18 hours.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
I think I saw, yeah, Fernando got a question.
I'd love to know what projects are coming up for all of you. Like what you got going on, or maybe how this is either launching you into new ideas, new passions. And that would go for everyone.
Okay, that's everyone going. Perfect. Hank, you're up.
So, being in the fitness industry for years, and everything is now on videos and, you know, Zoom. Nobody's meeting in person anymore. So this has given me the ability to switch my whole personal training business onto video. And now making killer edits and all of that fun stuff and making my videos look professional. About 4 months ago, I hired someone to do a video for me, a promotional video, and it cost me $1,700. And as an independent contractor, I don't know how I paid for that, but when I got done, I was like, I'm a little more creative than that. I need to find an outlet. And that's when Create TV showed up and proved me my point was outstanding.
All right, that was a Hank response. Thank you. This question from Fernando's for everyone. So who else would like to take that next? What's the next thing on the agenda? What's your next project? Anil, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to kind of take this and capture some like stories from East Side particularly, especially I have a lot of relevance to that area of San Jose. So that would probably be the next spot I'd like to document and kind of create a story about. And then just like as a personal little side project, I'm interested in creating like a little music video. There's just like a lot of music I like and I'm always inspired by, and I'm always like, when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, I could like, this would be fun if I did it by the river. Like this would be fun if like I was driving or something. So probably like a passion project would be the music video, or I guess they're both passion projects, sorry. But like a more fun one would be the music video, and then the East Side capturing a story of something would be very interesting as well.
And America, yeah, go ahead.
I have to agree with those two answers. Little passion projects here and there. One would be just, I want to interview everyone in my life, my friends. I would like to do a little video with my grandparents. It was my first time going to Mexico this past year. And I wish I had my equipment over there because there are some beautiful things and people, and I had wonderful experiences. So maybe as a personal thing, I can do that. Maybe a cooking show with my mom. But yeah, just having this knowledge here, I'd like to apply it long term. So I'll try to look for opportunities and work how to sustain this for a long time. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Thank you for your question.
And then we've got Melia or Gabrielle. Yeah, Melia.
Hey, so for me, I agree. Like, I definitely want to do more personal narratives. I feel like I've as a visual artist, I've always found sharing my art process kind of challenging, and not really knowing how to like share my personal like reflections along with like the actual like visual, like how things are being made. But I think with video now, I really want to use it as a tool for sharing my creative process. Not only that, but also like my own creative journey, because for so long I've been pretty camera shy. I don't like being in front of the camera, but I think after this, like the whole concept of like narrative, personal narrative has really changed in my mind. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just sharing more of myself in front of the camera. And also, I'm just excited for when things safely open up, because I would love to shoot more like concerts, music videos, like a lot of high energy things. But in the meantime, I could still shoot myself or in things in smaller capacity.
Thank you, Melia. And Gabrielle, what is next for you?
Well, my head's been exploding with ideas. I'm on the Santa Clara County COVID vaccine community stakeholder task force, and I want to do some videos that encourage people with knowing more about the vaccine that's coming up, and targeting different communities with positive messaging rather than the hammer that, has been going around. Just sort of having more education around that, and maybe showing them on Create TV, and have community involvement with that. So there's that part. But I was thinking TikTok. Next
that could
social
be dangerous. I find myself on there too much. Thank you, everyone, for getting Fernando's question. I saw up in the chat also Daniel here with us mentioned all the filmmakers exude such great energy and seem to really enjoy the program. What specifically about the filmmaking process did you enjoy the most? Now about, can I call on you, America? Oh, and then I saw Angel, you too.
Yes, you may. Man, filmmaking, I would have to say that was my favorite part. To see a place in a home or somewhere in San Jose, or just, I don't know, just something that can look good with like now panning and tilting and all these words that we've learned along the way. It was something that just like one shot came after another, after another, after another. And in my video at the end with everybody putting their picture forward, that came from an idea from one of the actors, from one of my friends. So I thank him for that, to Adrian. And so that was such a collaborative effort, having those little ideas here and there. And then each one of them was like, oh, I have this in my home, this item. This has to do with alebrijes. The pictures, somebody, Joseph, had like a little album with people's signatures. So how could I not get that into the footage? And like one of the past questions, what didn't end up in our videos? Oh, so many things, so many things. But ultimately, trying to piece things that would have a nice flow to them, I think was important. And some color correcting was involved in editing to make things stand out. So yeah, that was sort of the filmmaking process for me. Thank you for your question.
All my little ducklings have come so far. I got that one from Gabrielle. And Anil, you had your hand up too. You want to answer that one as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of my favorite part of the filmmaking process was like setting up the scenes and like kind of like I'm a little bit of a control freak, so it was like getting everything kind of perfect. So that part was really fun. But like if I like a personal part that was my favorite was getting into drag, because I had just gotten that corset. So like I was just really excited to see how little my waist was. It wasn't that little. Quarantine got me. And then yeah, just kind of like I never revealed that drag character to public really, because like I came up with her during quarantine, so I wasn't gonna go get a gig at a bar because there were
We might have lost you for a second. Anil, can you hear us? Wait, I see you moving again. You there?
Okay, sorry. Yeah,
okay, you're good.
Yeah, it was just fun to have her come out. It was like my little drag coming out.
Awesome. Sarah, I know you had a question as well.
Yeah, I was just wondering for Maylia, what was it like to reach out to somebody that's a public figure who you admire to have them collaborate with you on your documentary?
That was initially it was very, very nerve-wracking. So I had originally reached out to my friend who is on the Zoom that we founded, and so but currently when it just wouldn't work. And at first I was sure, like, would they? Yeah, we and yeah, drop the sharing with my sound okay, and then I realized like I was just overthinking it. It's not that serious. Like they're another human being like me. Yeah, like we yeah, a lot of the things was just I guess like the initial nerves. I realized like once we actually started talking, I realized like, oh, they're just nerves. They're just nerves. And this like it's an opportunity that people would love to do, and that was something to keep.
Thank you, Maylia. We lost you a little in the middle there, but I think we got most of
Okay.
you. Great. Olga.
I just have a comment. I think today is Friday night, so everybody on the Zoom instead of going partying. So that's why we're losing periodically conversation. That's a new trend in 2020, Zooming Friday night.
Right.
So,
makes sense.
Not enough internet connections. And
yeah. I had a question specifically. This one can be for a couple people, whoever would feel comfortable answering it. But specifically during this pandemic, what are like tips you have for telling good stories? What is like a key component to telling a good story, especially now in this time? Anyone want to take a stab at that one? I kind of got this question. Yeah, I was gonna say from America. It was a good question from you. Why don't you take this one?
How to get a good story. Well, I will say you have to start by setting up correctly and putting the microphone before the interview starts, because I put the microphone on, but I didn't connect it. So that's key to have everything set up well. No, but I think for me, it was either I stuck to the questions I had or made it feel more like a conversation. So I try to get a mix between the two during interviews, because if somebody starts to go maybe outside of the question, something beautiful can come up. And why would I stop that, you know? That was a challenge for future editor me, trying to see a really, really long interview, but I didn't care because that's when, like I keep saying, the flow comes in. And during these times, you know, it was a bit hard just to for all of us to feel comfortable. That's what I was hoping for. And everyone's homes were so beautiful that it was no problem setting up a shot. And then, oh, where would you like to say? Oh, here, please. And I don't know, it was just a conversation going. And I tried so hard to not say anything behind my mask, behind the scenes, because I wanted to, you know, have a dialogue. But I was like, no, this is the time for them. So I hope they could see, you know, like my eyes lighting up as they were saying something beautiful. But yeah, I would say just the key to making a good story is just, at least for the interview part, letting people talk, and something awesome always comes out.
Thank you for answering my question, America. We probably have time for maybe 2 more questions. Is there anybody in our audience who still has a question they haven't been able to ask yet? Yeah, is it Carolina?
Yes. Hi. Congratulations to everybody. There's so much talent in the Bay Area. And thank you for doing everything with so much love. I feel like that's something that it's different, that the Bay Area creates with love. And with that, I just want to say, was there something that you didn't like? Was there something that made you go,
It's a fun question. Thank you.
Fun question.
Yeah. Melia. Mm-hmm.
First thing that comes to mind is all the sitting that is involved with editing. Like, I come from like service industry, so I've been used to just working on my feet, and I thought that was like, you know, being on your feet and doing physical labor, I thought that was already like, you know, that's hard work. But sitting down for hours, especially when you're just in the zone, you really want to, you know, finish editing this cut, and your body is just feeling it. I realized like, oh, this is something new. This is something that I have to be more mindful of, to take care of myself and take breaks during the process.
I love this activity in the chat here with us too. Everyone's agreeing. Love this. Maybe one more person want to take on that question about what was the thing that was just the, what did you not like? Anybody else want to go for that one?
Yeah.
Gabrielle, was that, you want to answer that question?
What I didn't expect and didn't like, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Was that because I didn't know that I was going to process so much of my own stuff.
Oh no, did it just completely cut her from the call? Oh man. If we can get her back in here, we'll come back around to Gabrielle. Alrighty. I did see real quick there, Maria, did you have a question as well you want to ask?
Oh, I disappeared. Sorry.
Let's see. I'm going to come back to you in just a second, Gabrielle. Maria, you want to ask your question real quick?
Yeah, I want to congrats every one of you. I know that you have a lot of stress doing this one, because maybe you have to put more time in this project. But if you have the opportunity, will you do this again?
I love that question. Yes. Can I put a little second part to your question? Would you do it again? And also maybe like advice you might have for someone who applies next year? And thank you, Maria. So would you do it again? And what advice would someone give to the next round of DMM applicants? I saw Hank and Angel. Hank, go ahead.
I would definitely do this again, and I would recommend this to anyone that has any creative outlook and looking for some way to get it out, by far.
I second what Hank is saying. This has definitely been a very impactful program. And I think, yeah, I definitely, like, if I have any advice to give to anybody wanting to come in, just like do it. It's super fun. Don't be afraid to try it. I honestly came in with one idea and it became what it became. So it's not really hard set in what it is. And honestly, the documentary making will kind of guide you as well. So I think if you have a story you want to tell, or even if you don't think you have a story you want to tell, you'll find a story because it's there.
Love that response. Thank you. Gabrielle, we got you back. You want to can I make you do like a 2-in-1 answer? Do you want to mention again what was the thing that you were just like you felt frustrated with, and then you can talk about what would you advise for next year? What would you tell a next?
Well, it actually goes together. What I didn't realize is that so much of my own stuff came out that I ended up feeling very vulnerable. And so with the work I'm doing at the Bully Defense Center, it's made it a little bit harder for the short term because I'm so vulnerable. I'm, taking things personally. I've been thrown under the bus a couple of times by people that are awful, but usually I can say, you're awful, you do this all the time. But this time it hit me because I'm going through this vulnerability. So that's my advice, is be prepared for the vulnerability, because I had no idea that it would impact me so much.
Thanks, Gabrielle. Thank you to everybody who's answered questions. Thank you to our audience here in the Q&A with us. You have been amazing. I know we only got a couple minutes left, so we've run out of time, but if you still have questions for these filmmakers, you can reach out to community@creatvsj.org. And if you want to email us your questions, we'll pass them along. And if you want to connect up with the filmmaker, I'm sure they'd be down. So that is where we'll end for the night. I am again so proud of all of you filmmakers. DocuMentorMe 2020, you killed it this year. You are awesome. Keep doing this. Stick around. It doesn't end here, of course. And just again, let's give these filmmakers just a giant round of applause one more time. You killed it, guys. Awesome. And while I'm going to probably kill the recording now, if we want to hang out just a couple more minutes and just celebrate, we can totally do that. But for everyone still watching on YouTube and Facebook, we hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you again for tuning in for our screening and Q&A. Not to mention, also, this is recorded. It'll be up later, too, if you missed anything tonight.